Well, if we wanted some sparklers for 4th of July, we've got them.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Napoleon, like anyone can even know that.
Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering Adventures. Today we are going to fix this Ryobi Cordless Sawzall, or Reciprocating Sawzall. So many people call it a saw. I don't get that, but anyway, I've been using this thing here at my son's house. I'm working out of my son's garage today. Aaron's Adventures and Tinkering. I don't know where he got that name, but anyway, I've been working at his place. I've been removing some stumps, and I put a great big demo blade on here, and I was cutting roots and cutting some stumps down, and it started letting the magic smoke out and sparking up. So I guess I better fix it for him. Let me get the camera set up. I'll show you how we're going to do it. Alright, yeah, my son likes the Keystone Light. I think because it's cheap and made by Coors, and you know, it's refreshing. It ain't no PBR. Okay, so to get started, of course, remove the battery. Now, all along this side of it, the right-hand side, looking from the back, the right-hand side, there is 16 screws. Now, these are a Torx. Yeah, I'm sorry about the light here. I'm working with what I've got. T10. Torx T10 screw. And they look like that. So you take all of those out, and then the body of this thing is going to split in half. It's got a sticker on the bottom. You can just leave that. Open it up like a lobster shell. Now here's your motor, and that's what our problem is. Now to get access to the motor, what you need to do is, I'm going to actually put this back together a little bit to show you. On this side, on this model at least, it's got a lock for the blade. So you have to lift that up. You won't be able to see it. Uh-oh, I already lost a piece here that I was going to show you guys. Okay, so what you need to do is pull up on that a little bit and then pull this whole thing out. The piece that went flying that I meant to show you all was this little spring right here in this detent. Now this is for the lock, so you can lock the trigger and unlock the trigger. So what you want to do is very carefully take this out of here so you don't lose it. Now if you're not safety conscious, you could just take this whole thing and throw it away, but we're going to reinstall it. Okay, so now once we have this whole assembly out, what you need to do is, there's two screws. I already removed one, and there's the second screw. Phillips head screws to get the motor apart from the operating assembly here. And I should probably set the camera down, but I'm going to just wedge it between the edge of the workbench and my not so fat gut here to hold it. There we go. And now we can remove this whole assembly, set it aside, and now we have the motor. Now the motor's soldered on here, so if you have a soldering iron, that's great. Just unsolder that, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these as closely as I can to here, because I don't currently have a soldering iron at my son's house. There's old Sparky himself. And this motor's hot just from that little bit that I ran it. So if you know how to use the internet, which you should since you found this video, you can purchase one of these things from this place or any other place you'd like to. I just searched Ryobi replacement Sawzall motor or something along those lines, and got this thing straight from that place, which is probably where the original one is from. Alright, so on this one I actually marked it before I cut it. I put that it's red, but you can see there's a little red dot. Hopefully you can see that right there. So I'm going to assume that that's the same on this one. There's the red dot. And this one even has the same manufacturer on it, so chances are fair that this is original equipment. Now, like I said, I don't have a soldering iron here at my son's place, so we're going to do this probably not the best way, but the way that I can do it while I'm here, and then maybe later we can take it apart and solder it. But I'm going to use these connections, and we're probably going to have to smash them a little bit to make them fit. Actually, they fit pretty decent already, even though this is a little bit big. But that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and make the splices on these. And I highly suggest that if you have a soldering iron that you solder this on here. Okay, I got those crimped on here. I've already attached the red. And what I had to do, at least on the red one, and I'm sorry for the light. This is just what we've got, natural light. You know, I thought we had Keystone light. Alright, I had to bend that a little bit. And these terminals fit really well, actually. But we'll see how this whole thing fits in here. We may have to bend these back in a little bit to get this thing to fit. There we go. That one looks like it's just going to clear. And yeah. So, looks like these connections will work. It's going to be a tight fit, but I'm going to put the, there it is. Put the whole assembly back on here. We'll fit that on here, and we'll make sure that the case halves fit together. I made a little work table here, sitting on a milk crate, just because the light was so crazy over there. So as you can see, I've got 2 screws in. Make sure you get the lock washers. One of those fell out before I put that together. We can put our little safety switch in here if you like. I'm going to put it back together the way I took it apart, so we'll put that in there. That little spring will go flying, so be careful. And it fits right in there. Here, I'll put it in and I'll show you real quick. There it is installed. So when you push this thing each way, that little detent, it's going to, you're going to feel it. Little clickety-clickety motion. So now we will put the 2 halves together. As you can see, I kind of peeled that sticker off a little bit. Watch your wires down here. And if anything feels odd, just double check it and make sure nothing is incorrect. See, it works. Okay, now what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to put probably 5 or 6 screws in here and we'll test it. That way if there's something incorrect, we can take it back apart. Now for the moment of truth. Oh, we're locked. Well, she's still sparking in there, but I don't think it's going to be smoking like it was. There we go. Yeah, the other one, it would smoke up after about 20-30 seconds. So I'm going to put the rest of the screws in and we'll wrap it up. There you go. It wasn't too bad. And it was $20 shipped for that motor, so it makes financial sense to replace it, at least in my opinion. I know some people are just not interested in working on stuff, but I think that the cheapest I saw that thing for sale was about $60, so you can fix it 3 times or replace it once. It's up to you. Alright, if you're liking my content, give me a thumbs up, or a dirty thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.